and this is my channel, The Energy Led Woman. And I recently uploaded a diary session, which is the diary of an energy led woman, where I chat through what's been going on for me, what's been showing up for me during the week. And as I listen back to that, oftentimes there is a subject or a question that pops up in my head that I feel that I want to go a little bit deeper into. And that is exactly what's happened, and that is exactly what this video is. And what came up for me when I was re-listening to my recording was that along the way I mentioned how sometimes we can receive messages, nudges, whispers from our soul, from our body, and sometimes we receive them from our head. Or at least that is what I experience. Now, I do have to be clear about that because I am a split definition by human design, which does mean that there are two clear, distinct voices in me as a human being. Two clear, distinct voices. And I am able and have I am able to distinguish between those two voices very, very quickly and very, very easily. And maybe when I first started doing this, maybe I didn't find it as easy, or maybe I didn't have all of the information at the time. And so I kind of wanted to just riff on that a little bit because it's important to me to share that information so that I can help somebody else out there. Because there was some random guy who just stuck his head around my gate of my driveway, and I was like, what are you doing? Anyway, looks like he's sorted himself out anyway. Wasn't even for me. Reset, Gail. So I wanted to talk about how I distinguish, how I know the difference between when this is a message that's coming from my body or when it's a message that's coming through my mind. So it's important that we understand that, because especially when we are it's important that I understand that because I choose to live an energy-led life. So that means following the energy, not following the mind, okay? And that is a very very rebellious way of living compared to the way that society is. Because society does teach us to lead with the mind and to let the mind, come up with the decisions, let the mind do the decision-making process, let the mind work out the pros and the cons before you take a step. Whereas when you live an energy-led life, it's not about weighing up the pros and cons before you do something. It's about feeling into the energy. It's about understanding where the energy is taking you, because energy is kind of magnetic, and it's not magnetic, but that's the only way I can kind of describe it. And if you follow the feel-good feelings, you will create a life that feels good. If you ignore feel-good feelings, then your life's not going to feel so great, okay? And we utilize that quite often in long-term goals and such like, because we kind of go, okay, I am going to work really hard at doing something that I don't necessarily like doing to earn money so that I can live a happier life when I've got the money. But we miss out on all the feel-good moments while we're doing that, because we're doing something that doesn't make us feel good rather than following the feelings that makes us feel good. I'm really rambling. So, letting the body lead is where your unconditioned soul is in control. So, the being that you actually are, the being that you were put on this earth to be, before you were taught how to live, before you were taught to eat breakfast, dinner and tea at certain times. Yes, I'm from Yorkshire, so it's breakfast, dinner and tea for me. Before you were taught what to strive after, before you were taught what a good life looks like, before you were taught that, you know, you go to school, you go to college, you go to university, you get married, you have children, the kind of the structure, that the conditioning that society puts like over us. So by following your body and not your mind, you are following a different sat nav. And this sat nav is the sat nav that is your soul. And whenever you follow this, you are in effect following your truth. Letting your mind lead is when you are letting the conditioning of society lead you to your future life, and that's not necessarily the one that lines up with your truth. And oftentimes, because of the mind's function and what it's here for, yes, it's here to process, it's here to store information, all that kind of stuff, but the mind is really here to it's a protection tool. It's processing information all the time so that we can understand what's going on, so that we can kind of protect ourselves, I guess. But it's really, your mind is really survival and protection and fear. And so if you're allowing your survival, your protection, your fear to control you, then that pathway that suits your true soul is probably never going to be reached. So, after all that rambling, let me get down to a couple of ways in which I am able to decipher whether it is my body or my soul that is leading the way, or talking to me, or whispering to me, or giving me nudges, giving me guidance, however you want to word it. So the first thing to know is if someone asks you a question, the first thought that comes into your head is most likely from the body, because the body drops in first, okay? The body connects, the body responds immediately, okay? The brain processes, okay? So your body immediately responds. So if someone asks you, okay, do you want to go to this restaurant? And you immediately get this feeling that's like, oh, no. But then your mind goes, but it's a Thai restaurant and it might have some nice food and it's in a nice area, maybe we should go. So your mind always comes in second, and usually you can actually quantify it within a 3-second period. So the initial response is the soul, it's the body reacting, and then you follow on with a little bit of processing, a little bit of logic. 3 seconds later, whatever answer comes to your head 3 seconds later is generally the mind. So being aware of those two things can help you to decipher and to pick the one that you want to follow. Okay, and this is the one I shared on my video. If you are saying, so do you want to go to this restaurant? I feel like it's a no. I feel like it's a no. The fact that you're saying I feel tells me it's coming from the body. No, because of this, that's the mind. And the reason it's the mind is because we are explaining, okay? We're kind of having to justify our decision. We're not just taking that gut feel, okay? Another way that I do it is, you can see as I'm going through this video, I'm like, when it's the body, it's here. When it's the mind, it's here. And I can literally feel the level. So I can literally feel whether the words are coming from here and in my body and in my soul, or up here in my head and coming out through my head. I can literally feel the difference. And I purposely enhance the two different ways of speaking there, because oftentimes you'll find when you are coming from your body and your soul, it is calm, the voice is deeper, and it is slower. When it is coming from your mind, it's usually a little bit higher, and it's usually a little bit quicker, because you are up here, not down here. So that's another good way Listen to the tone and you will feel it. There are other tools that, as I have moved along my journey, I have used, and that might be a pendulum. I still love a pendulum. If I'm in doubt, or if I'm in a place where I feel like my head is constantly overruling my body, or I really want to use the alignment of my body. So my pendulum is out at the moment and it's in my kitchen. And the reason it's in my kitchen is because I want my body to speak to me about what it wants to eat, what it needs to nourish it. And so oftentimes my head can really take over there, and can come through and tell me loads of reasons why I should be eating a certain thing, but my body only wants whatever. And using the pendulum can help me to connect to that. I don't believe the pendulums are magical. I don't believe anything like that. However, I believe we have energy in our hands. And if I remember right, it is positive, negative, and then your thumb is neutral and your palm is neutral. Now, using that, I hold my pendulum. Do I hold it with that? I hold my pendulum like that. So I have a positive, a negative, and a neutral finger there, and then I hold it over my palm, which is another neutral. Now, what then happens is when you ask yourself the question, the body responds. So the body responds with a little slight subtle movement that creates a movement in that pendulum. And that clarifies for me whether I'm following what my body actually wants. There are actually body weight tests, so you can actually stand and you can ask yourself, show me my yes, and you probably will lean forward slightly. Show me my no, and you might lean to the side or you might lean to the back, but it's about where your weight is. And once you've clarified that with your body, you can then ask your body a question. You can just stand there and say, do I want to eat at this restaurant? And you will automatically find yourself leaning in the direction. So as long as you have decided what is yes and no before you start, that can work. And then there's also this body test. And this is a really strange one, and I'm really not sure how this one works. But if you ask yourself a question and it is a yes, then your fingers tend to pull away. And if you ask yourself a question and it's no, then they stay. You can't break them up. I might have got that the wrong way around. You might have to ask your body, show me my yes. Show me my no. Show me my yes. Show me my no. Is my name Gail? Is my name Sarah? I don't know. Try it. See if it works for you. Anyway, don't get in your head with it. It's your body. You need your body to be answering. Another kind of like just way of thinking about it, I guess, is the body does not explain. The mind will give reasons. So that's an easy thing, you know? Do you want to eat at this restaurant? Yes. Do you want to eat at this restaurant? Yes, because I really fancy a chicken chow mein. I don't know. You will have a reason. It will come through. And then just to kind of give you another way of deciphering it, the body's in present time. It's like it's telling the truth in the present moment. The mind is trying to make meaning over things. So, do you want to eat at this restaurant? Body in present, telling the truth in this moment. Yeah, I do. No, not hungry. No, doesn't. That's me giving a reason. Do you want to eat at this restaurant? I feel like I do. Do you want to eat at this restaurant? No. Do you want to eat at this restaurant? Yeah, I feel like I do because I'm hungry. There you go. Same example, but I misinterpreted it for you in the first place. But that just gives you a few kind of examples of, body and mind and how you can decipher what is going on so that you can truly follow your body and truly follow the feelings, rather than the conditioned mind that it's a strange one, because the conditioned mind teaches us how to be successful in this society. The body will take you on a pathway to success without everything, all the rigmarole that comes with it. So it's happier too. I'm sorry, but it is. When you're following energy led and you're following your body, it's just peace, and it's just calm, and it's just gratitude, and it's just exciting, and it's just lovely. Anyway, I think I'm done. I hope somebody somewhere out there finds this useful.